106.7 The Fan. This is Chad Dukes. Very excited to talk to my favorite wrestler of all time and now my favorite action hero and actor. And I actually saw him on FunnyOrDie.com yesterday giving out cans of Whoop-Ass to children, which was very exciting. Hunt to Kill is available on DVD and Blu-ray today for purchase everywhere. Looks like a great action film starring my personal friend, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Steve, how you doing, man?
Man, I was doing pretty good until you played my entrance music and I walked through a brick wall.
That is great news. Steve, I got a bone to pick with you, man. The last time I had a chance to catch up with you, it was right before The Expendables dropped. And I asked you, I said, hey, do you have any scenes with Randy Couture? Because I know you're a big MMA guy, and I'm a big MMA guy. And I was like, that would be exciting. And you said, yeah, we may have one or two scenes together. And then you guys have one of the most epic knockdown, drag-out fights in the history of cinema in that film. You played that one pretty close to the vest. How much fun was it to film that scene?
Man, it was fun because, when you come from a pro wrestling background and you get a chance to throw hands at Randy Couture, a Hall of Fame UFC fighter, and you're not in the octagon, so he's not going to smoke you, that's a good day at the office.
Yeah.
And that guy fighting Randy Couture, I mean, that guy's as gentle as a lamb. You talk about a pro. Very precise, very cool, and if the guy had been a prima donna, it could have been a bad day at the office for Stone Cold. But man, it was a lot of fun working with that guy. I'm a big UFC fan. I love the fights. It's not the world that I come from, but it's a world that I love to watch. He's a badass guy.
Now, you got Hunt to Kill coming out on DVD, which is cool because I saw The Expendables. I was all fired up. I really enjoyed The Stranger, which was another film of yours that you had. When do you take a break from filming all these movies? It seems like you have a new project you're working on constantly.
You know what? I love to stay busy, and you're only going to get better by getting repetitions in. And my only problem with my schedule is it seems like all my movies happen right around deer season. So I'm fixing to go to Vancouver. I'm leaving in 5 days to go to Vancouver and start a SWAT team shoot-'em-up movie. And then follow that one up in January with a vigilante justice type movie, which I'm really looking forward to. So these, right now, Hunt to Kill is the favorite movie that I've made, and the next two that I've gotten, I think, are going to be even better as I get, more comfortable and settled into, my skin as an actor, and now I'm able to hey, apply yourself, do research, and learn about the people you're trying to play. But I love being busy, but, man, I tell you what, I sure hate missing deer season.
Yeah, well, I remember you said that you were surprised that you weren't given the Best Actor nomination for your portrayal of Jack Conrad in one of your finer films. So I'm just curious, you think you can build off that performance?
Oh, I was totally snubbed that year. I can't believe that Dem didn't get Best Picture of the Year. I can't believe I didn't get Best Actor that year. But, that's what keeps me hungry and keeps me striving to achieve more greatness. But I'm kidding, obviously. Man, I got a lot of fun. And I love the movies I make. I don't think they're for everybody. But if you like action movies, and that's a road I'm trying to go down, I like what I'm doing, and I'm getting comfortable doing what I'm doing. But that being said, man, I'd love to try a swing at some comedy or something like that. But if I get a chance to make 20 or 30 more action movies, then I'm going to learn how to kick as much ass as I can on screen.
I think your fans love to hear that. Hunt to Kill is available on DVD and Blu-ray for purchase right now. Got to ask you about one of the biggest stories in both of these worlds. What did you think of The Undertaker going to that fight, getting interviewed, and then kind of calling out Brock Lesnar as he's leaving the cage after he loses to Cain Velasquez? What did you make of that interaction?
Man, I watch the pay-per-view. I watch every UFC pay-per-view they have. I saw that. I said, okay, somebody's working an angle here. But I don't think that those worlds are going to collide just because UFC and WWE, both great organizations, but they're like oil and water, and I don't think oil and water mix very well. And I don't know. Just from what I saw, looked like a couple of guys were trying to shoot an angle, but man, with the outcome of that fight, that wasn't the time to shoot an angle. And Cain, was pretty dominant in that fight. But and that being said, to go to a UFC note, I think that the loss of that fight will make Brock a better fighter. I think he's going to go back to camp. I think he's going to learn, better striking skills. I think he's going to, learn how to take a better punch. and that loss will make Brock Lesnar a better fighter, and he'll go right back to the top and keep dominating the UFC. But, yeah, the angle was ill-timed.
Steve, you the one thing is that the rumor was they were trying to get Lesnar to take on The Undertaker one last time for a one-off at WrestleMania. What's been said of Lesnar, he's accomplished everything in the wrestling business that he wanted to. The same could be said of you 10 times over. You don't have a reason to go back unless you want to. I enjoy it when you host Raw as the guest general manager. We saw you get inducted into the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame at WrestleMania, and you came down the four-wheeler one last time. That was just such a great moment. But is there anybody that you sit back and say, well, if I could do one more match at WrestleMania, it would be this guy? Not that you would do the match, but who would be the one guy you'd like to work with if you did the one last match?
Well, it'd have to be Hogan, just because he was the biggest thing in the 80s, and probably when you ask of the most famous professional wrestler ever, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get. Well, my dogs are going crazy.
Is that Hershey?
You're going to get Hulk Hogan. You're going to get some Ric Flairs. You're going to get a lot of Stone Colds. But it would have to be, for me, being as hot as I was in the 90s, I'd have to go with Hulk Hogan.
That would be great. I know you're a big sports guy. I know you watch a lot of NFL. We're here in Washington, D.C. Before we move on, I got to get your take on what happened with Donovan McNabb. He gets benched in the fourth quarter by Mike Shanahan for Rex Grossman. What do you make of that move?
Man, I don't know what to make of that. I think I caught part of that game, but I was flipping channels. Man. And then they said he was actually winded trying to run the red zone offense of the 2-minute drill. And, man, I don't know if I'm buying that. Nothing against Rex Grossman, but Donovan McNabb is a pretty damn good quarterback. What'd you make of it?
I thought it was, we've been talking about it on the station all week. Then, of course, what happens with Dallas. You're there in Texas. How big a story is this Wade Phillips thing? It's all we see on ESPN. I got to assume that you being at the Broken Skull Ranch, you're saturated with it down there.
Well, you know what? I saw it coming. I think they need some edge. They need an attitude. They need a dominant figure as that head coach. And I'm not running Wade Phillips down. Because when he first came into Dallas, he started off with some great success, and he had that team on track. But I just think they've got so many great players, very good players on that team. They need someone that's going to crack a whip and keep their asses in line. A face needs to step up on offense and defense as far as being leaders. Tony Romo, before he got hurt, Tony's got a great arm, quick release, and he's very accurate. Some of his decisions can get a little dicey, but he's a good quarterback. I highly question his leadership skills, but Dallas has got way too many players to be 1-7.
Yeah, I totally agree. Hunt to Kill is available on DVD and Blu-ray today for purchase everywhere. Make sure you pick that up, starring Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, Steve, one last question. At the end of Expendables, you're on fire. It looks like you're dead, but is it possible maybe you make it back with the Expendables too? Because it was really cool seeing you work with all those big-time action heroes.
Well, let me tell you something. With today's medical advances, hey, I never saw him throw me in a grave and put dirt on top of me. So I'm telling you, I love living life, and until someone does on this life, I'm gonna continue doing what I do. As far as the Expendables goes, I heard rumors back in the day that maybe I would be a part of it, and then who knows? Many people think I died. Maybe I won't be a part of it. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, going down my road, making my movie. If I get a call from Sly and he says, hey, Steve, I want you in EXP2, I'll say, hell yeah, and I'll do the movie. But I make no assumptions. So right now, I'm as totally in the dark as you are.
Steve, great to talk to you, man. Hunt to Kill looks great. We're all going to watch it tonight, and I always appreciate you tweeting back. Very nice that you do that to all your fans, and always a pleasure to talk to you, man. If you come through D.C., we got to get you in studio, all right?
10-4, you got it, Chad.
Thanks, Steve. Good to talk to you again, man. Love it. Hunt to Kill out right now on DVD. Make sure you check that out. That one will, Hunter, have T-shirt. What do you think about that? What do you think about that interview?
Pretty good friend of yours.
It's my friend Steve. I just want to make sure that Bo LeBlanc is listening. And he knows that when my friend Steve and I get together, we discuss all of our projects, all of his projects, rather, everything going on in his life.
And you guys catch up about old times.
About old times and about, current events and sports. Things that guys shoot the S about.
Best friends.
Best friends that hang out. Maybe I'll go down to the ranch this weekend. I think I'll go down to the Broken Skull Ranch, hang out with Steve. All right, that was Stone Cold. That is a lot of fun. Hunt to Kill available on DVD and Blu-ray for purchase right now. Check it out, starring Stone Cold Steve Austin. We will take a quick break and be right back on 106.7 The Fan.